Yeah, this your boy Rich underscore everything with an A, and you now locked in to RE Films, Mr. Uncut, Raw. Yo, YouTube, what is good? What is good? What is good? I'm trying to get y'all in the area, you know what I'm saying? My whole office is junky. Y'all got to excuse me, man. Car parts, t-shirt press, CNC, computers, all that good stuff. More car parts, electronics, and all that. Router bits, got to get them outside in the shed. But coming at y'all today, man. Y'all probably saw the video where I was working on the turbo. That was yesterday. So today, man, we're just gonna kind of jump into this thing. So it's kind of like a part two, but not a part two. So I'm gonna see if I can set y'all up right there. Right here, kind of in Indian style right now. What I'm doing is, it's not like I just realized this, but I gotta clock the turbo, cause the one thing about it is the drain has to be on the bottom at a certain angle down, and the feed has to be on the top. Now, hold on a second, I'll show y'all where I'm at. Where I'm at right here. My housing, if I was to install this into the car, in the Relentless right now, and it was, even if it was sitting straight up like that right there, you can see where my drain is sideways and my feed is also sideways. And then my actual housing is driving side. Yeah, they kind of tight. It's a 13. So I'm gonna break these loose and I'm gonna try to swing this back part of the exhaust housing back. Let's see, or rotate it. I'm gonna rotate it so where that will go that way. So if I turn it this way, it'll be going clockwise. So y'all let me loosen these bolts right here up, and then I'm gonna see if I can get this thing turned around, man. So y'all put y'all down for a second, let y'all see. Okay, got my 13 here. Got 3 loose so far. That's in my way. I see a lot of guys put these things in vise when they do it, and I see why, being honest with you, because they tighten these bolts up pretty good, which is a good thing. So depending on your turbo, I don't know how many bolts you would have. Right now, I got a Borg 480 on the way from a buddy of mine, but this is the famous GT45 that you see on YouTube all the time. So we're gonna play around with this thing right here for a while, just to kind of get things started. And then we'll just dive a little deeper from there. So that seems like it's pretty loose. I don't know if it's going. Okay, so we got some rotation going on. So let's see if we can get this thing turned the way we want it to. I want to angle that down. See exactly where that's going to be. So this is going to angle down some. My feed. It's almost just about where I want it. I got to watch my feed line, though. My feed line is kind of kicked towards, it's starting to almost want to bump. on my bottom side down here. I'm gonna get these right here snug back up just a little bit, and then I'll show y'all what I mean. I'll snug a couple of them up just so I can kind of keep it in place. My first time doing this, so I'm gonna just say this just to say this. I could be wrong. I don't know if any play is in this thing from vertically or not. So just make sure you check your clearance back here. I still got good clearance back there, so I'm good. While I'm tightening that up, I'm gonna just go ahead and finish that off. Go ahead and go all the way around with it while I'm at it. Because for right now, I kind of got it where I want it until I get it on the car. So let's show y'all what I was saying about how close I was to my actual I think I got that one. Yeah. So let me show you. I started clocking. You can see right here where my drain's at. It's on the bottom now. This thing right here is gonna be angled down some, so that's gonna be at a slant. That's a good thing, because you want it where you don't really want the oil sitting in there. You want it where that oil is gonna kind of like gravity, you know, or it is gravity. You want it so where that oil is actually gonna just drain down out of your turbo. So we got our drain on the bottom now. And we got our feed on the top, which is a good thing. Now, as for the front, it's the same thing. You can loosen that up and you can kind of angle that to where you want that to go. I really don't know where I want that to go right now, because the displacement of where the turbo is going to be sitting, I know it needs to be turned. So with that being said, if we looking at it like this right here and me turning it that way, it'll have to go counterclockwise. But if I turn it around the other way, it'll have to go clockwise. So I am gonna spin this around just a bit, and probably face it and put my cold side outlet probably pointing about right here. Therefore, when it's time for me to do the cold side or whatnot, like I said, I'm gonna still have to loosen this back up once I get everything in place or whatnot. Just checking my clearance on where my bolts will be or whatnot. So just trying to make sure I ain't gonna have no issues with that. Still gotta tighten these feed lines up with an Allen right here, but got them on there. Top and the bottom. I tell you, these did not come with the turbo, so I had to get a step-up bit and be real careful with these, because these are aluminum. I had to be real careful with them and take the step-up bit and just kind of go into them a little bit, because they didn't align. One side didn't align perfectly. The center of it aligned perfectly, dead center with, and you can kind of see right there with my oil drain. That's perfect. It's dead center. But this right here was just a slight bit over, and it might be just, you know, brand or whatnot, but I had to take a little bit out. So what I did was I took a little bit out of both sides so that I could have that little bit of room, and then You know, once I did that, my gasket, I used that for um, the prop setting, because this is the gasket that goes with the turbo. So once I was able to slide that gasket onto my two bolts easily, you know, I knew I was right where I needed to be with that part. So yeah. Another thing I did, which, you know, a lot of people will probably get at me about this one right here, especially my boy Cat. I know he'll probably get at me about this one right here. And I'm gonna take this thing apart anyway and clean it out. But let y'all see off in here. So all that right there, you see I get off in there, I take my blower and I blow all these out. But that's why I'm telling y'all about these holes. Cause these, when you loosen these holes actually go into the turbo housing. So you want to be real careful with these bolts right here on this side and this side, because if you strip them, then you actually stripping out the inside too. You see this one right here has a little bit of dust in it. We get that out before we actually get it on the car and get this thing right here going. But you can see that fitting I got in there. I already had the fitting in. My boy Cat got at me and he was like, man, you know, maybe run it from the intake. I can't lie, you know, I like to show y'all all of my progress. At the time, I was just thinking, you know, feed the dome some vacuum or pressure. So basically what I did was I put a fitting in here, got it in there nice and snug. After I got it in there nice and snug, what I did was I didn't want to weld it. So the Autobahn, I put the Autobahn around it, which if y'all don't know what Autobahn is, man, it's almost like glass. Once you put it on there, man, you gonna catch it getting off. Like you basically cutting. But this port right here, even if I wanted to close this port right here off, then yeah, I would much rather take a chance of just welding this right here closed, or either just capping it off with one of my little rubber caps and then putting a clamp on it or whatnot. But I'm probably just going to use that right there for my wastegate anyway, since I only have, I think I got 3 vacuum ports under the intake, 4 maybe, but you know, 1 going to my brake booster, I definitely want that to have as much vacuum. Looking into the manual brake boosters, but back to this turbo. Yeah, y'all see it. Y'all see the screw holes. And this stuff right here, I can tell you right now, that right there, those little shavings did not come from me, because what I did was I stuck a shirt down in there and I pushed the shirt as far as I could get it. Once I got my shirt way down in there, I was able to drill, and I had grease on it. So all of my shavings came out. Even when I pulled the shirt out, there was some tiny little shavings on it, but not much. So if you're trying to drill anything like your oil pan for a drain or whatever the case may be, man, get you some grease, man. I used the grease from the ball joints and I just put it on my drill bit. Messy, but it works. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So those little shavings you see right there came from the manufacturer, but we get all of that out, man. Right now I'm just trying to clock this thing and get it set up right. And you can see right here on the exhaust side, you know what I'm saying, doing a review, like super clean, super clean. Great job on that, man. Different people make these GT45s, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Mine came from Max Speeding Rods. I have seen people get them from other order them offline from other people, man, and I have seen them do breakdowns and all on them, and with all types of issues. You can see right up in here, I've seen people have issues up in here where it's just jagged all over the place. I've seen people have issues to where you see some of the GT45, they don't even come with this part right here on there. It's just, it has a housing like this, and then it just comes straight down. So you see how that right there has that, I guess this is aluminum, has that on there. So I guess it's just who's manufacturing these things and or whatever, but man, make sure you look into that, man. Like, definitely look at anything that you buy. Make sure you look it over. Like, it could be a name brand and it could still have issues. But back to that, man. I'm gonna loosen these right here up, and I'm gonna just turn this right here and clock this to this corner over here, so that way I know it's facing the side of the car that I want my cool side to actually go out. I'm thinking about it. But I'm gonna always have to loosen this back up once I get it on the car, so just to get it in place to where I actually need it. So y'all, I'm gonna put y'all back down, and then I'm gonna loosen this side up, get it done, and then hopefully I can find a nice Allen that I can get in there and tighten these right here down. This right here fitting is already on that tight, and this is my fitting that actually goes into my feed side. So yeah, hold on just a sec. Let me go ahead and get this side right here done. See if we can get some breakdown on this here. That's the reason I did the back side. Front side always ends up being somewhat easier than the back side. I don't know why that is. Now, I will tell you, if you take this right here off, 9 times out of 10, there is a like a pin that you would have to put back in there, and you're gonna need some pliers to get them back in. So you want to be careful with loosening that up. Definitely. So there you have it. Got all those nice and loose so far. See if we can get a spin on it. Okay. So that's probably just about what we wanted right there. Let's put a little angle down on it. Let's see. Because it's going to sit a little slanted, so we'll angle back a little bit that way. And see, I kind of know how my housing sits on my car, so that's why I'm kind of trying to put it in position, so if I'm out there and I'm working on it by myself, I know exactly where it need to be. You know, Toot ain't always around. Sometimes I'm working on stuff when he's at school, so. But again, remember what I told you about being careful with the screws that go back into the thing. So you want to kind of take your time. I like to jump from one to the other and stagger them when I'm tightening them back up. And then I just put, not necessarily, I go a little bit more than snug, but you want to make sure you got them. Oh, yeah, I can tell you that much. Okay, so got last one on there. Check all over. do that, make sure you ain't got no leaks, man. Definitely don't need no leaks. All right, so that's pretty much it there. So this is pretty much how that turbo would sit in the car. Right there. At that angle. Kind of show y'all. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's gonna sit at that angle. Right there. Maybe take a give a little bit more off. You know, off. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up and down. But that's pretty much where you want it. Right there. My feed is kind of where I want it so far. My drain is kind of where I want it, and this is somewhat where I want it until I actually start plumbing up the cold side and seeing what's what. We're going to run CO2. My only thing with CO2 right now is, and I may end up just ordering another bottle, man, with the whole, you know what I'm saying, top side and everything. Because when I ordered this, on the picture, man, I tell you no lie, like I ordered it off of eBay. It was one from a personal seller, and he had the picture with all of this right here on the top, you know, where you could turn it on and everything. And this is what I got in the mail. Now, I ain't gonna lie, you get what you pay for. I will tell you that you get what you pay for. It was only like $25, but yeah, you get what you pay for. So you learning process, man. That's why I was saying I probably order another one. I see some on Amazon and even eBay, you know what I'm saying, for like $159 with the bottle and also the nozzle and all on them. So I probably just go ahead and order another one just to get it out of the way. Because by the time you buy this top part to go on there, man, you already paying about $70 anyway. So if I'm paying $70, I may as well just go ahead and get something that's already, you know what I'm saying, together. That way I ain't got to worry about tightening nothing up on the top or whatever and doing all that other crazy stuff. But yeah, man, that's that on that. We should be fairly ready to go, man. All this stuff over here is turbo stuff, so y'all don't pay this no mind. Everything with the exception of this right here, that's going in the trash because I had parts in that. But I'm trying to reach over and get something for you. This is what y'all saw. What y'all should have saw. I think on the last video. And what was happening was the V-band on that right there was not grabbing quite like it should on here. Let's see, this side right here would be my back side anyway. So this side right here would actually be the side that goes on to the back side of the turbo. Let's see if I can loosen this thing up for you. You can best believe they had these things on here like super tight. So, see that lip right there? That lip right there, excuse me. That lip goes in there, and you can see where my issue was right there. So, I don't know, man. I was actually looking at it. It's two fixes to this, but it's really not a fix to that to a certain extent. The reason why I say it's two fixes because I can actually shave around the back of the turbo right here and bring this down to match this, or I could just weld this to the back side of the turbo from the outside right here and get this to actually, you know what I'm saying, mate to that. So I don't know. I probably end up going online. This right here said, I know these are 3.25, so 3.75 maybe if I got to, man. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I know sometimes you probably say, well, dang, you know, you just throwing money out there. When I look at, I should have look at my specs and all first, but I could definitely get this to work. If I went in here and these little edges right here and grind these little edges down, but then that will be taken away from, a little bit away from that whole seal or whatnot. So I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you try to be creative and you could be a bit too creative. Just leave things the way they are and find a whole nother fix. So I'm gonna get online and I'm gonna see about some 3.75s, and then I get the 3.75s. I actually use these here. This right here, for finding 3.75s, I can actually use this down the line someplace else on my 3-inch piping or whatever the case may be, you know. So that's pretty much that on that. Turbo wise, man, we got a, well, almost clocked. I say break it down, man. I'm gonna put some air through her, so I can get some of those little, from the screws right here. Put some air through her, man. Blow her out real good before we start installing her on the car and everything else, and trying to do all of this crank and stuff or whatnot. The same thing with the car, man. I might start the car up, being that I weld the piping under the car. I might start the car up the way it is, and just blow out all that excess welding on the, because you remember I got the tubes already hooked up from the driver's side to the passenger side, so it'll actually blow everything out of the passenger side top, if that be the case, you know, even if I wanted to take it off. But I did take the time out to clean out the piping under the car, as far as you know, spraying it down with water. When I was doing my welding, I took the time out to grind down a lot of the metal shavings that was in there, that was just sitting loose or whatever the case may be. So we should be all right, man. But you know, I'd much rather be safe than sorry, man. But yeah, man, that's it. Y'all see it, man, day by day by day, man. Trying to sit here, trying to grind, man, and get this thing right here done. I got these blinds open, man. Trying to get this thing done, man. Turbo ready to go on. We still got to get the dipstick in there. That's no problem. What else we got to do? I'm going to check the crank pulley bolt. Finally got a 24 socket, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the impact on that, make sure that's tight. And then we still got to do the wiring and stuff. So that's my next thing, man. I'm about to jump into this Harley Terminator X book, and also get on YouTube, man, and see what's what, because I want to clean up a lot of wiring that's under the hood that I really don't need. I was watching a video where certain wires are actually constant hots, whereas if they're constant hots or they're accessory hots, then they'll be great for using for the fans and all that. But all that stuff actually comes on the Harley Terminator X Max. So whatever the Terminator X Max does, I want it to do. I just want to clean up the wire and get everything nice and clean. And you know, I ain't in no rush. Yeah, it could take me another 2 months if need be. I just want to get it right. So, man, look at here. Like I always say, man, appreciate y'all from watching the channel, man. About to jump on and finish another Behind the Lens, so I can go ahead and drop that for y'all, man, and give y'all a little bit more detail on that. So we can get that done. But yeah, man, follow your boy also on Instagram, man, at Rich_everything with an A, man, because I'm always on there, man. Every now and again I jump on live. With who I could jump on live with, man. I've tried to reach out to Dunk Master, try to get on live with him. Made it on live with CC. I made it on CC's live one time. Me and G Dog will be doing a live. It's a lot of people I'm gonna try to reach out to on the live, man. Maybe me, G Dog, J Malcolm, E-Vape, Whip Addict, Cat, if you on there. Sprayway don't do too much Instagram or whatnot, so I respect that, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all on Instagram, man, follow me on Instagram, man, so I can see them blue buttons that say follow. I will follow back, and we can go ahead and get some chit-chat going on there. But y'all already know, man, do something with them buttons, man. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for post notifications, man. And let's keep this thing going, because I'm trying to get Relentless rolling. You already know what it is, yeah. Yeah, this your boy Rich_everything with an A, and you now locked in to RE Films, Mr. Uncut, Raw.